Hess News Radio, WRVA, the voice of Virginia.
9:33, the experiment. 9:33, the experiment with Rich Herrera. The 9:33 experiment. 9:33.
All right, 9:33 here on Richmond's Morning News. Good morning. I'm Rich Herrera. Thank you for joining us. We podcast this, we live stream this on YouTube, and we open up the phones for you.
Hey, Rich, I have an update for you real quick here. We were talking about the fried chicken eating champion.
Okay.
And her name is, I don't know if I can say this right, Leah Shuckever.
Okay.
And she devoured 4 KFC box meals, equivalent to approximately 4 whole meals of chicken and sides in 11 minutes and 58 seconds.
Ugh. I don't even know where to go with that.
I think I can handle 1, and that's about it. But I sure can't do it in 11 minutes and 58 seconds.
Wow. I don't even know where to go with that.
That's a lot of chicken and sides and...
Yeah, what size does she have?
Well, I guess it was like the 2-piece meal plus sides, which is, I think it's 1 side and a biscuit. And plus a 2, because there's a 2-piece, I think there's a 3-piece.
There's a 4-piece. I know that. I know that by ordering.
And they don't do like whole chickens or anything. They do like chicken wings, and I think Joey Chestnut has the world record on that. It's like 178 wings in 30 minutes or something like that.
I don't know if I've ever seen him eat before, but that would be something.
You ever saw him eat do the hot dog thing?
No, not in person.
Oh no, I never have.
Like I've seen.
I would love to. I would love to go to the Nathan's hot dog eating contest. Maybe we need to do that next year and do the show from up there.
No, that would be. I don't want to sit close where they. Ugh, yuck.
That's called the splash zone.
Yeah, no. You want no.
You want to go for the whole.
There's a lot of things I would do for fun. That's not one of them.
Yeah, you don't want to get the whole experience.
Just watching them eat like that, I don't know. That would not be on my top 5 list whatsoever. Oh, now you just you gave me the icks. Like I'll go to an all-you-can-eat buffet and put them out of business. You send me to a Brazilian steakhouse, like there's a wonderful Brazilian steakhouse out in Ashland, out in Jeff Katz's country. Oh, I will punish them if I go eat there. But yeah, the rest, maybe we'll see. Okay, let me get back to what I wanted to get into, and I'll open up the phone lines for you. Phone lines are open right now. Dave, open them up. There you go. 833-804-1140. 833-804-1140. We call this the experiment because we normally don't take telephone calls, especially during Richmond's Morning News. But I want to hear from people, and it's my own little public opinion survey. But something we've been talking about all morning is I went to the Great American State Fair. I wasn't sure what to expect, and went into the pavilion for Virginia, or at least I tried to, because it was locked. It wasn't locked with a key from like the officials that open and close. They all had locks on the doors. No, this one was locked with a bicycle chain, bicycle cable to be exact. You couldn't walk in. So when I looked through the window and took a picture, I saw a Virginia sign, the ones we have all over the place, love, made out of corn stalk and an apple and something agriculture. I saw a black tablecloth with a Virginia's for Lovers sign that was kind of half rolled out, half rolled in. A television, I guess it had a video on there, but I wouldn't know because it wasn't on. And then a pop-up sign. And that's about all I could see because the Virginia booth was actually closed. No one was in there. Couldn't go in. So the premise of the Virginia's, the Great American State Fair is you could find out a little bit about every state in the union and our territories and protectorates. And they all had someone, well, most of them had someone sitting in there. And you go by, they give you this passport, and adults or kids can go by and get stamped that you visited every state. They're your own little piece of the state. But when it came to Virginia, no one got a stamp, at least the day I was there on July 3rd. I couldn't get my little passport stamped if I wanted to. Why? Because we didn't man our booth. We locked it. We closed it for whatever reason. Now, I mean, I'm not sure whether it's good or bad that we locked it, because if you looked in, you would be underimpressed. That's not me. That's Axios reporting that. Here's the deal. We as Americans have to figure something out. Do we want to live together in the same country or not? There's Trump derangement that says, no, and I also think there are people that will follow Donald Trump no matter what. But I think that's pretty regular for people that you admire. Political office holders that you vote for and you're invested in. But this whole thing of anything Donald Trump does is awful, evil, and I'll never support it, has gotten to the point of absurdity that we're having the 250th anniversary of this amazing country. And I've got states that just said, it's Donald Trump. We're not going to participate. Virginia is one that didn't even have the guts to say we're not going to participate. We just did it so poorly that we might as well have said we're not going to participate. Connecticut, Illinois, Maine, Massachusetts, North Carolina, Oregon, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, Vermont, and Washington. Pennsylvania were the ones that originally said we're not going to do anything. The governor of Illinois said we're not spending $1 to support that. Pennsylvania was so embarrassed that their two senators went to go visit, and they were so appalled. They worked together, one Democrat, one Republican, one Dave McCormick, one John Fetterman, and they rallied people around the state businesses. According to the state originally, there's no businesses that would like to participate, so we're not going to do anything. McCormick and Fetterman took them an afternoon, and they have their whole booth set up, and it is awesome, including a replica of the Liberty Bell. A couple places that are really important to this Commonwealth, to the United States that Independence Hall is one. The places around Massachusetts, very important. Virginia. Is Virginia important to tell the history of our 250-year anniversary? Apparently not enough that we actually gave a darn to the Commonwealth of Virginia, because according to Axios, we spent $5,000 for a 16-day exhibit. It looks like we used recycle signs from somewhere else, and that's about it. We did about as little as you can. So again, I keep pointing out for this administration, they say one thing and they do another. Say, absolutely, we're going to support this, absolutely. How are you going to support it? We'll spend $5,000 and not have anybody there and lock it. So you can go on record saying this, but you're actually doing that. Because for whatever reason, the Commonwealth decided we are just not going to give any effort. To me, that's embarrassing. I think it should be embarrassing to you as well. So I'll ask you this as we open up the phone lines, 833-804-1140, 833-804-1140. I am a newcomer. I am not a lifelong Virginian. I was not born here. I chose to come here because this is a pretty awesome place. And now that I'm here, I love this. I love Central Virginia. I love Richmond. I live out in Henrico Short Pump. I love that part of town. I love everything about here. I have learned so much. And we were driving back from D.C. and my son looked at me and he goes, Dad, I kind of feel like we were driving in Ashland. We took the dog over and found a border place a kennel to leave her there. So she wouldn't be home with all the fireworks by herself. And we were driving through, my dad and my son says, I just kind of can think of George Washington and his men riding through the forest. I mean, it is that we drip with American history. And the fact that we haven't done anything of any significance at the 250th anniversary state fair of this great country, and we put in such little work, shame on us. Shame on the General Assembly, shame on the governor's mansion, shame on all of us. That's the best we could do. Leftover old, underwhelming pieces, and no one bothering to show up, which is worse. Which is worse, the fact that it was padlocked, we had nobody there, or the fact that we did such a weak job in the first place. So again, according to Axios, we spent $5,000. So if we open it up, I'd love to hear from you this morning. 833-804-1140. James River Air text line. What would you think would be significant? What would you think would be important? What do you think you'd want to share with all the rest of the country about Virginia? Our history, our economy, our natural beauty. I could think of a bazillion things to put in that exhibit that you'd have that showcases this wonderful state, this wonderful Commonwealth. So I'm going to open it up to you. Again, I'm a newcomer here. I think I know what I'd put in there. I'd showcase George Washington and Thomas Jefferson. I'd showcase Monticello and Mount Vernon. I'd showcase Patrick Henry, give me liberty or give me death. You know, the people that started this country, I'd showcase them. And if you don't want to showcase them, how about showcasing some of the great things we have? How about our peanuts, the Virginia peanuts? How about our Civil War history? How about Virginia Beach? How about Richmond? How about Charlottesville? How about our wine? Okay, listen, if you hate everything political, how about just showcasing our fine wine industry? And we couldn't find anything, anyone, or give any effort? What does that tell you? If you're a Virginian and you walked in there, and remember, Virginia led the way. Virginia gave you the father of our country. It gave you the man who was responsible for writing the Declaration of Independence. This whole thing started, Patrick Henry, give me liberty, give me death, here in Richmond, Virginia. And that's the best we could do, is a leftover love sculpture and a Virginia's for Lovers half-rolled banner. That's the best we could do. And our investment in this is $5,000. Let me just, I don't think we have to do math on this program all the time, but let me just figure this out. $5,000 divided by 16 days equals, no, that's not right. $5,000. See, again, that's why math's not one of my strong suits. Divided by 16 days equals, we spent a whole $312 a day. $312 a day on this to represent this great Commonwealth on our 250th anniversary. Wow. Folks, I could have raised more money than that and done it correctly. I could have marshaled volunteers. I bet we would have been able to find them to show up for our state. But instead, that's what we got from our state government. What do you think? 833-804-1140. Scott, line 1, welcome. You're on News Radio WRVA.
Yeah, we should have showed video history of Monument Avenue in the state of.
Okay, are you being serious? Are you being serious? Are you being a smart aleck right now? Why, of all the? No, let's go. Thanks a lot. We'll move on. Dave, move on. Seriously, I'm not trying to be partisan. I'm not, and this is the part that upsets me. I'm not being partisan. Can we find one way to come together for 250? Can we find one way to come together to celebrate this great country? Or are we just going to be standing there sniping at each other? Because that's what it is. And if you said, oh, let's put that video on, no, then you just be sniping back at the governor. I'm talking about, how about we come together in the spirit of this great country? Not to, Scott, I know you were just being a smart aleck, but not far from the Capitol, where this is going on, is a very hallowed ground. It's called Arlington, Virginia. It's part of our Commonwealth. And to the men and women interned in Arlington that gave their lives for this great country, that laid down their lives for this wonderful experiment of America, we can't do better than that. of finding ways to come together again. I don't need sniping. There's enough partisan bickering on all this. We need leaders right now. So if you were a leader, I'll put it to you this way. John Fetterman is more of a leader than I see in a lot of places because he got together with Dave McCormick, both of them. They ought to be the example of what we do in this country instead of just being partisan. Maybe we should follow their lead because they got together. One's a Republican, one's a Democrat, and said, you know what, we could do better than this in Pennsylvania. And they did. And they've got a wonderful example of how we come together in this. And they just stepped up and did it on their own. They recruited people, they showed up. So now I'm going to make people mad. Scott the Independent says, I'm not the one who called you and talked about monument. I get that one. Now people are going to get mad because I said no to this. Listen, I'm just telling you, no sniping. No sniping. Oh, now people are telling me shame on me for grouping us together. We are us together. It is us together. And again, if I make you uncomfortable, I'm sorry. But it is us together. Either we're going to come together or we're going to fall apart. What did Donald Trump talk about in the speech? That communism, Marxism is on the rise here. Why? Because we've fallen apart so much that we can't come together as a people. We've fallen apart where I'm just so partisan. And I hate the other side so much. Lincoln said, house divided falls upon itself. Well, you're starting to see that right now. And I see that with my fellow Americans as we're having the subject. And boy, the people that are chiming in right now on the left, I hate Donald Trump. And on the right, now they're getting mad at me because I actually want to work with people because, again, I'm not red, I'm not blue. I'm red, white, and blue. And I think everybody should be as well. I'm a staunch conservative, but I'm an American before anything else. You guys want to comment? 833-804-1140, 833-804-1140. And quite honestly, I'm kind of getting the vibe that a lot of you are just giving up on our country right now because you say we're so divided. Well, who's going to bring us together? You, me, who else? It has to start somewhere. 833-804-1140, 833-804-1140. The number for you to join us here on the program. And again, some of your text messages, I'm not going to repeat, honestly, because I don't know. I'm torn right now because I'm getting a lot of people that are just being smart alecky and don't get where we're going with this. Anyway, you guys want to comment? 833-804-1140. I'm just going to tell you, nobody asked me who I voted for. Nobody asked me who my political candidate was. I was just there trying to enjoy the United States of America. And the fact that this thing has become so partisan has been rather eye-opening for me. All right, that's it. We're done. Dave said I ran out of time. I rambled too much. Sorry. I tried to get telephone calls, but we were having a hard time screening them. Today's program brought to you in part by Freedom Services and Training, the biggest little gun store in town, located in Mechanicsville. Our national anthem next on News Radio WRVA.
Please stand for the national anthem of the United States of America.